My name is Mark and this is Buzzcut Guitars. So today I'm going to be performing a couple of Slash's more underrated guitar solos, but let's just take a little minute to appreciate the man himself, shall we? He's obviously best known for the sheer dominance in the early 80s and 90s with, of course, the band Guns N' Roses, kicking out some absolute legendary solos, not to mention just plain awesome riffs. Welcome to the Jungle, Paradise City, November Rain, Sweet Child of Mine, which has the best intro ever, and I'm not talking about the guitar riff.
Oh, that straight step right there.
There is not many people that can open up a song by just plugging in their guitar, but that's Slash, innit? He's up there with the likes of Jimi Hendrix, Jeff Beck, Brian May, Eric Clapton. He is one of the greats of all time, there is no doubt in it. And of course, after the split with Guns N' Roses in the late 90s, I believe it was, he didn't stop there. He just carried on. He formed his own bands such as Slash's Snake Pit, Velvet Revolver, and then released a few self-titled albums as well, Slash 1, 2, 3 and 4, featuring Miles Kennedy, among others. I mean, the list of the people that Slash has collabed with is unbelievable, from Rihanna to Michael Jackson, Blackstreet to Fergie. We'll brush over the Fergie one. And that's before you even get to the live performances. He's been on stage with Queen, Foo Fighters, BB King. If you get invited to play with BB King, then you're good. The man has 100% got that little something special under his fingers. But we're not going to be talking about the face melters today. We're not going to be talking about, the wah-wah pedal super shredding beast that is Slash. We're having a look at some of the more, I guess, underrated guitar solos. The first one featured on the Guns N' Roses album Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. I think it had separate lyrics depending on what album you listen to, but the guitar solo is the same. Of course, I'm talking about the track Don't Cry. Now, the reason why I picked this is because it's very different for what he was doing at the time. It isn't, overloaded with wah-wah pedal and an absolute shredding beast of a solo. It's very melodic. The tune is simple in itself, but it's absolutely perfect for what this song was crying out for. Now, I'm going to perform this solo for you now, but I'm not going to perform it on my electric. I'm going to give you a little acoustic ensemble. It's just that I hear a lot of things about Guns N' Roses being a bit trigger happy when it comes to completely blocking videos. Even just mentioning their name, I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of worried that the FBI is just going to come bursting through the door in a minute. But they are a bit trigger happy when it comes to blocking videos. So I'm not going to play it exactly how it is. I'm going to do it on the acoustic with a little acoustic backing track. That solo is it's one of them that I can imagine that he probably took more time writing that solo than he did perhaps some of the others, because like I said, it's very deliberate, if you like if you watch any live versions of this song, it's very true to the original, whereas sometimes when you're really shredding stuff and that, you can't. Sometimes you just don't remember what you've done. Do you know what I mean? It's just you're improvising on the spot and you're just letting the feel take over, which is amazing in its own right. Don't get me wrong. It's an absolute wonderful tool to have if you can just improvise and shred your fingers to the bone on a track just by listening to it and letting the moment take you to where it wants to be. But sometimes that can be really hard to replicate afterwards. But Don't Cry, I imagine he really paid attention to exactly what he wanted to do in that solo, because like I said, the solo is absolutely spot on for that type of song. Now, the second solo that I really enjoy of Slash is a little bit controversial, I'm not gonna deny it, but this person, among other things that we'll just gloss over for now, doesn't mean they should be ignored, but for the purpose of this video we're talking about Slash and not the person he was working with. This one is Give In To Me. I mean, even the title of this song, it's Give In To Me by Michael Jackson. One of the things that I really love about Slash's playing is sometimes, especially when he's playing live, it's not note for note perfect. He plays from here rather than from up here. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of passion behind his playing rather than precise technical ability. And that can be something that really hits home with guitar players, I think, is that passion always shines through no matter what he's playing. Even when you hear it on an album, you can tell that there's a lot of passion there rather than trying to be technically perfect. Now listen, there's nothing wrong with being technically perfect, but sometimes stuff like that can come over feeling almost a bit wooden, a bit stale, because there isn't that power behind it. And you know, so many people will say, and it's true, that it don't matter necessarily what gear you've got. I mean, it helps, don't get me wrong, it does help. If you've got a guitar that's really difficult to play, you're going to have a hard time learning to play the guitar on a guitar like that, or just playing certain things on a guitar like that. So much tone just comes out of these things, you know, out of the hands. It's the vibrato, it's the way that you pick, it's the way that you slide, the way that you bend. Vibrato, some people, you know, have got amazing vibrato that just makes that guitar sound like a voice. And of course pedals and things like that, they help. Slash very much so likes a wah-wah pedal, so much so that he's got his own wah-wah pedal. Some people hate wah-wah pedals and think that that's covering a lot of stuff up, but I love a wah-wah pedal. Like, you tell that to Jimi Hendrix, you know what I mean? You know, was the wah-wah pedal not... let me put it like this. If you listen to Voodoo Child, would it sound the same without the wah-wah pedal? Do you know what I mean? If you listen to Slash's solos on Civil War, or even Sweet Child of Mine, would they be the same without the introduction of a wah-wah pedal? It just adds that stuff. But even then, with them things aside, it's all to do with the fingers. And like I say, some players can feel a little bit wooden, a little bit stale, and not bring that expression and that emotion out from within and translate that onto the guitar, because they just haven't got the ability to translate that into the hands. Do you know what I mean? Whereas Slash is an absolute genius at doing that. There's other guys out there that are absolutely incredible at doing stuff like that, and there's, you know, really technical players that can also bring out a lot of emotion in their playing. But it feels, it's exciting listening to Slash. It's exciting listening to Slash when he's playing live, because you don't know what's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? You'll be listening to a song that you've heard 150 times, even on the way over to the gig. You've listened to it on repeat over to the gig, and then when you get there, he'll bust out a solo that would just be like, whoa, that's something completely different to what I was expecting it to sound like. It's not what I'm used to, but yet it fits so perfectly. His imagination and the way that he can just improvise on the spot like that is incredible. And I imagine going into the studio with him you could be like, give me something else, and he could just spit out so many different variants of a solo, but yet still have the equal amount of passion and heart that goes into all of them. I know I sound like a Slash fanboy, man, but he's a legend. You've got to give it to him. Anyway, that's just a little insight into what I think are a couple of Slash's more underrated guitar solos. Yes, he's done some better stuff than that, if you will, or, you know, more exciting things than that. But to me, I think that them guitar solos should be up there with some of the greats that he's done. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and leave a comment down below. Which one is your favourite Slash guitar solo? And of course, don't forget to smash the like button. And if you're feeling really, really generous, hit the super thanks button as well. Until next time, my fret-loving friends, I be Mark Payne, this be Buzzcut Guitars, and I will see you in the next video. Peace!